Was music an influence earlier, or like sports? What kind of stuff were you into?
I used to always want to do sports, but I had so much other stuff going on, like with extracurricular activities, that I could never really realistically do it. I've always been in music. Like, I started playing the piano when I was like 4. Took lessons. My mom is actually a really good classical pianist, so she taught my brother and I like most of the basic stuff when we were really little. And then, so all the way through like elementary, junior high, high school, and college was, music lessons, all kinds of dance lessons, and ballet, tap, jazz, modern.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like you name it, I was pretty much doing it.
So it was a lot of music-driven activity,
always.
Even dancing, music,
Yeah, so either music or dance pretty much occupied most of my time. Whatever crazy idea I came up with that I wanted to do next. Usually my parents did a pretty good job of always being like, let her explore her creativity. Yeah. So I appreciate that they did that.
That's cool.
Yeah, I would literally wake up and be like, oh, I'm gonna be a rock star today.
Right.
I need a guitar and I need lessons and I need an amp. And they'd be like, all right, let's try to figure it out.
So with picking up all those instruments, was that, so your parents didn't really even have to push you in that direction?
No, I just really enjoyed it. Like, they did kind of, I think they probably maybe steered me more towards that way than some other stuff, but for the most part, that was just what I liked and what I really wanted to do. So my parents, they lived in Detroit before they ever moved to the west side of the state, so I was actually the only one that was born on the west side of the state. My brother was born there. Okay. They hadn't been there for very long, and then they had me. So growing up, Detroit has always kind of been second home for me. Like, we were there all the time. I had a ton of relatives there.
Right.
Go there to go shopping, any music concerts, anything like that. So I've always been a fan of electronic music because I've always been in Detroit. It's kind of impossible to live in Detroit and not at least hear it.
Right.
So,
yeah, totally.
So since I've always been in music, I've always been making music, composing music, whatever. So I was making stuff that was like house and techno, but I kind of didn't really know that it was house and techno.
Interesting.
So I was making stuff, and then I started going to shows, and I'd be like, oh, I love this, blah, blah, blah. And my friends would be like, well, your stuff's good too.
Right.
Why don't you play it out? And I'm like, I don't know, why don't I? That's pretty much kind of how it happened. But yeah, it was really kind of one of those aha moments, oh, well, if they're making money off of it, then maybe I should too.
Monday nights at Billy's, which is it's called Bass Bin. In my opinion, it's the best electronic music night in the city, by a pretty huge margin. How did that all get started? Because it seems kind of like an unlikely night, an unlikely venue.
It was unlikely in every single possible way. When they were like, well, you can do it on a Monday, and I was like, how am I supposed to make an electronic music Monday night work in Grand Rapids?
Yeah, totally.
Seems like a tall order.
Yeah, so the first time I was like, I think I'm gonna pass on that or whatever. And then it kind of came back again, and I was like, you know what? I'm like, why not? I'm like, I don't really do anything on Monday nights. I'm like, if I can pull this off, I'm like, I have some ideas. I'm like, I think I can make it work. I think it was probably about 8 to 10 months in. I didn't realize, people were like, dude, your night's awesome. And I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. I think I was probably so stressed about other things, that I didn't look around and actually see that it would be to capacity, every night. You will see all different kinds of people. There's the stereotypical hipsters, hippies, everything in between.
It's super diverse.
It's very diverse.
And inviting. Too. People aren't there to judge.
Yeah, it's
I feel like
diverse.
It's very diverse, and I think it's cool that a diverse crowd and diverse music, and everyone there is just it's always a good vibe.
Yeah,
for sure.
They also have awesome homemade popcorn in the back, which is pretty good.
Okay.